Right, that looks good. Evening all. Are we on? I think so. Give us a thumbs up underneath as per usual if it's working. Wherever it is, down that corner somewhere, isn't it? Or type something in the chat and then we'll carry on and everything's working okay. That'd be marvellous. Right, let's see if there's anybody there. It tells me there's some people there, so hopefully there is. We shall wait and see. Evening, Peter, Stella, Ollie, Peter N. Excellent, some people there. Good stuff. Right, a few things to tell you about tonight. Hopefully you got my email earlier if you're on the mailing list. I think a few of them didn't get through because I put in the subject line, win £2,500. I think some of the spam filters have probably caught it on its way out. But there we are, never mind. I'm sure you'll all get the message eventually. Evening, Gary, Peter C, Paul. Marvellous. So I have been busy this past week programming, finishing off the factoids thing on the website and sorting out the raffle thing that I mentioned the other night. So we'll have a look at that in a tick. Got some updated pics and a couple of little video clips from Peter, Evening Lenny, from the Yarmouth arcades. Now they're finished and opened yesterday. We're busy, I think, so that's good. Sorting out the next meetup up north for September, and round off with a nice little vintage video clip. So there we are. Right, so let's have a look. So first of all, the little factoidy thing. So you need to be signed in trading members for it to work, but basically I'll just quickly show you. I've got my right account signed in. Yes, I have. That's good. So if we go to the old Brian's page, which is the one I usually fiddle with things when I'm testing new things on. So these work on any of the manufacturer pages, basically. So factoids are these just little snippets of information. You know, this was made then, or that was made somewhere else. Shall I zoom in a bit? Might be able to see a little bit better. Hang on a minute. Just zoom up a little bit. There we are. Hopefully you can see those. And you'll see at the bottom, if you're signed in, under the head or the bottom, it's got a little button now, submit a factoid. So have a look down and think, oh, I know something about Brian's or Mills or Jennings or whoever it is, whatever it is. You click on the little button, type your little factoid in. It says here, enter factoid text here. Try and keep it as short as possible. So you're not after whole big long articles, just little things that, you know, something you know about the manufacturer or whatever. Type it in there, click the little button, and that sends it off to me. My video is going funny again. Not going to have another night of that, surely. Let me refresh it. And make sure it's working. Hope that's all right now. Then I get a little notification my end on my sort of admin thing to say there's a new one come in, and just check it for spelling mistakes or whatever, and then set it off live. You will then get on your, if you look on your menu, there's a new little button, it looks like lists, where your lists of various things are. Draw ticket page. There's a little message there because I'm still fiddling with it, but it will have the prizes in for the next draw, tickets you've been awarded. So every time you submit a factoid and it's accepted, you get a raffle ticket, and then every live stream from next Sunday we'll do a draw every week, every live stream rather, so 2 or 3 times a week, and pick out a winning ticket, and you'll win something or other, whatever prizes there's going to be, and then all the tickets go in for the end New Year's Eve draw as well. New Year's Eve draw will have £1,000 worth of prizes, £1,000 plus probably. Go try and find a really nice slot machine, probably a nice all-win, because I think most people can accommodate an all-win in the house. Bandits are a bit clumpy or a bit bigger to find space for, are they? But try and find a nice all-win over the next 2 or 3 sales or on my travels. I'll buy one and then obviously stick pictures up of what you're going to win. I'll also try and find maybe a really nice piece of fairground art or something. 2 or 3 nice bits like that. So there'll be a special draw on New Year's Eve for those big prizes. and also whoever's put the most factoids in the year, maybe the top 3 people or something who've put the most in, I'll do something like £100, £50 or something like that. So what will happen is we'll do a weekly draw, and then if my back end system works, let's say, I don't know, ticket number 103 is the winner. So I click this over in my back system here, and if we just refresh this page, you'll say, oh, you're a winner, look, claim your prize. And you'll see the buttons then line up green. Let's say we fancy prize number 3. You'll just click that. Confirm that's the one you want. Bosh, then that's yours. That prize disappears. Tells you you've won that prize, so that ticket's no longer eligible now because you've won something on it. But it's still, number 103 still stays in the New Year's Eve draw. And your won prizes go down the bottom there. So there you go. So hopefully that makes sense. A very quick run through. There is a help page with a bit more details on. If you go in the help pages, prize draw, there we are. There'll be a bit more added to these pages as well in the next day or two. But it is now up and running. I'm just fiddling around with a little bit of layout and instructions and bits and bobs. So that's how all that works. Hopefully that makes sense. So the idea is, so any of the manufacturers' pages. So that's what I'm starting off with, and then once we've ironed out any little glitches, then we'll add it on to individual machines and other things as well. But start off with the machines, 'cause that's what we've got the most info on already. So have a think what you know. Scout, if you've got books, magazines, old trade catalogues, old copies of CoinSlot, all sorts of things. There's so much information out there. The idea is to try and collect in little snippets of information from as many people, and it will gradually build up a history rather than trying to sit there and write whole articles out on whatever. If everybody puts a little bit of effort in, that kind of combined knowledge of everyone will hopefully build into a really useful resource. So it's a bit of an experiment on my part. So I'm putting up sort of £2.5 grand worth of prizes over for the rest of the year. So little prizes, each draw, each live stream will probably be like a £10 worth of bottle of wine or a £10 Amazon voucher or something like that. And then a big £1,000 draw at the end of the year, or £1,000 plus draw. Each ticket will go in 10 weeks worth of draws. So you're potentially up to about 30 chances to win on each ticket. Yeah, there we are. So that's the idea of all of that lot. Evening, Stephen. Evening, David. Hopefully that makes sense. I've tried to rattle through it as quickly as possible so to not bore you if you're not interested. And we'll see how we get on. Let's plonk this down. While we're here, let's just have a look to see who's wanting anything for the next auction. In the slot section, we've got some new wants. Sooty, anybody's got a Sooty? Bingola, Auto Fruit. U-Win. Somebody else actually asked me for a U-Win a couple of days ago. We've got 2 or 3 people looking for a U-Win at the moment, if you've got one. Entries to the next auction close in a month's time. As I put in the email, it's been a bit slow this past week or two because of the van situation. That's going to be sorted, fingers crossed, the end of this week. And then I'll be on the road. I've got some nice big bits to collect in. A couple of 3 jukeboxes, I think there is. Fortune teller machine, shooting game. Some all-wins, some smaller stuff. So I'm planning on the weekend of the 2nd and 3rd of March, I'll be around and about Midlands, so around and around the 11th hour. So I've got to go up to Manchester, I think I've got to call in Birmingham. And I've got to go down as far as Gloucester way somewhere as well to pick some stuff up. So I'll be around and about that weekend. So if you want to meet at the 11th house, 2nd or 3rd, get in touch and I'll try and sort out exactly when I'm going to be there. I should think it'll probably be later on Saturday for an hour or two. So Saturday night I'm catching up with some friends over that way, and then probably earlier on the Sunday morning, something like that. So I should think late Saturday afternoon for an hour or two, and then probably early Sunday morning, and I'll go off and do further south Sunday afternoon. That's the plan at the moment, but fingers crossed the van's done. So that's where we're at with that lot. Hope that all makes sense. Have a go, have a think, win some stuff. if you're the only person that sends little factoids in, you'll win everything. So by the end of the year, you'll be £2.5 grand better off. So there we are. Think on that one. So you raid your brains, have a look in your books, have a look at the stuff you've got. Often there's details on machines or things or whatever, you know. So have a look at the old Brian's page for ideas of what sort of thing to put in. The button won't appear just at the minute, but it will do later on tonight, the submit button, because I've got to just delete some test data out of the database I've been messing around with, like these examples I've just shown you. Get rid of these old tickets and things and bits and bobs, clear it all out, and then I'll activate the buttons up. Then tomorrow or next day I'll put some proper prizes on, get rid of the purple banner, etc. But the system's up and running. So there we are. That's where we're at on that one. What should we look at next? Let's see. Peter sent in some pictures. Pictures on tonight. It's probably knackered, I should think, from all weekend being open at Yarmouth. So I got him to take, I said just whip round and take a few snaps of the arcades finished. So he took a few pictures, because I don't think we got everything in the video, of the Penny Arcade, and then he's done a little video clip of the Videocade all up and running yesterday. People in there spending money, so that's good. And also I said just take a couple of little snaps of the village itself, because there's the model village is fabulous. And if you've never seen the village itself, it's a nice place to go anyway. So there's a little video clip of that as well. Ah, there's Peter. Now look, he says, just got in. Hopefully you've had a very, very busy weekend and you're absolutely knackered and your pockets are bulging. And everything's still working. I doubt the latter, knowing what it's like operating. The first weekend, everything goes wrong and breaks, doesn't it? And jams and goes funny. But yeah, all looking good. So then I've spoken to Robert up at Woodbank, up near Bradford Leeds Way, and we're planning to go there early September. It's doubling again in size. It doubled since we were there last in 2022, and it's doubling again sort of as we speak for this season. So it's going to be a massive arcade. Lots of really interesting stuff is working on at the moment. So once the kids have gone back to school, probably like the second week or something-ish in September, I think, Paul Mitchell, when were you planning yours? Early September, I think you might have mentioned before. So we might end up with 2 consecutive weekends. That'll be busy, won't it? Especially as it looks like I might be working on 2 TV jobs at once as well at that time of year. Anyway, hopefully it'll be busy. So there we are. So there's some, has it gone all the way around? I haven't been paying attention. Oh, here we are, yes. So there's a few snaps of the model village on a very grey February Saturday. But it gives you an idea if you've never been there. Obviously, I just started putting all the bedding plants in for the season. So in the summer, it looks fabulous. And all the flowers are out. So, and the sky is blue. So it's not quite looking as colourful as it does in the summer at the moment, obviously, but it gives you an idea of the detail. You'll see some of there's a picture on there, like the little push buttons that Carl, I don't know if Carl's on tonight. The electronics guy did, so there's loads of little sound effects. It's great for kids. Haunted House, that's a new one. I really like the look of that. As you go around, press a little button and there's sounds, things and music, things happen, some things move and light up and do all sorts of stuff. So the whole model village is almost like a giant working model that you walk around. Fantastic. Can't recommend it enough. Paul says, yes, September. Yeah, so we'll have to liaise on some dates at some point. Gary says, hopefully his wife will be well enough to attend. Yes. Or Paul suggested could do early July. Yeah, don't know really. Whatever you think. If we're going to do a September one, it might be better, mightn't it? July. Let you think. See how busy you are. It doesn't matter to me really. When do the kids break up? Well, I can't do it before then, really, don't you? I suppose. Because people will be busy with kids and things at the weekends. Right, what was I going to show you? Oh, a little video clip of the village. Peter had a quick wander around. Just gives you a little idea. Of everything it was to see. Detail's incredible in it. The trains all run around everywhere. And I think there's some. Oh, there's space rockets. There's some mountaineers got the mountain from memory. I can't remember. It's a few years. I don't think I've actually been around the village before the whole COVID nonsense. I've been to Merivale a good few times, of course. But I think it's probably 5 years since I've actually walked around the village. Yeah, so there we are. Let's have a look at the video arcade, see how that turned out. Bit with everything on. Token machines in. Neons up around the top. Hunters, painting, something working today, so one machine now. Hopefully most of us took working after the weekend. So a few weeks time, then we can settle down and go up. Page, this is your website, can be, about the video cade. I think that'll be quite interesting. Oh, the video's run out. Oh, okay, why has the video run out? I think that must be it. Fair enough. Let me just click back on here. That's better. Bosh, there we go. Peter says, as long as it's not in school holidays, yeah, that's the things we need to avoid, isn't it, really? So we'll liaise with Paul and with Robert and try and firm some dates up. Have a look at the school calendars and things, and see what we think of, and then get them booked in. Marvelous. So it's 2 more meets for the summer. We'll see if we can arrange something else as well. Gary's looking forward to the hot dogs. Excellent. Avoid the school holidays, yeah. So we're working on that one. We're working on it. We'll get it sorted. Pete says, yes, please. Yes, please, to hot dogs. Right. Where's my list of things? What have we done so far? Done my raffle thing. Right, that's that. That's notes of raffle things. Yes, done that. Yarmouth things, done that. Yes. Paul's meetup. Yes, we discussed that. Meetup up north. Discussed that. I've got a little video clip here I was going to show you. Let me put on my little headphones. We were talking the other night, chatting the other night about Waxworks. I found a great little clip from 1947, I think of it. Is a two sword. It's only a minute long, but it's quite a good little clip of them spring cleaning for the opening of Two Swords in I think it's 1947. It was inspired by Peter saying he was looking for some waxwork. And where are they all gone? So let's have a quick look at that, shall we? Here we go. I think it's this button here.
Something more than distance and isolation, and the man with the loneliest job in the world works only a step off the streets of London. He's the night watchman at Madame Tussauds Waxworks.
Night watchman.
His is loneliness with a difference. Loneliness of the imagination. Will you spend a night alone in the Chamber of Horrors? Thousands have tried it for a bet. This man, Mr. Walter Argent, does it for a living. Flesh-creeping legends abound concerning this gallery of the world's greatest criminals, of men's hair turned prematurely white with terror after an hour here alone, of reward offered to anyone who can defy the horror-filled loneliness for a night. Neither are true. It's Walter's job to stop people trying. Light plays tricks on the eyes. Shadows move as you pace the stone floor of the grotto of living ghosts. Underneath the waxworks runs a railway track. The vibrations of passing trains set the figures trembling, and imagination fills in the gaps. The watchman shares his loneliness with horror. His companions are the dead, brought to life in moulded wax. Their deeds, at which the mind shudders, invest their presence with living terror. Would you change places with this man? Perhaps you prefer your own kind of loneliness. It may be...
Oh. Finished rather suddenly, that one, wasn't it? That's not actually the one I meant to upload. I got another one as well. One was about spring cleaning, which was a bit more jolly. Thought that one would be a good one for Halloween. I queued the wrong video up, but never mind. We'll have a look at the other one another time. Peter says, does anybody have a copy of the comedy called Only When It Rains, set in a waxworks? No. Never heard of that one. House of Wax, have you seen? The not that old a film. 10, 15 years ago, maybe? That was quite a good one. I've got that on DVD, if you haven't seen that one. An American one, usual kind of waxworks horror film. The film itself is not exactly a different storyline to any other one, but the set is amazing. They built a whole village set in a very Art Deco style, which appeals to me. I love Art Deco stuff. And yeah, like the whole house made of wax melts and things is really good effects, all practical effects as well. Oh, it says Chamber Horrors in London is pretty naff compared to 10 years ago. Yeah. I suppose it's all gone PC these days. Oh, we can't have that. Somebody might get upset. You can just imagine it, can't you? I was saying to Pete the other day, I think I suspect a lot of it why they've not lasted these days. Wax is really expensive to do, and kind of celebrities, today's celebrities aren't like they used to be years ago. They don't last very long these days. So-called celebrities these days are like 5 minutes, aren't they, on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram or whatever, and then they disappeared again. There aren't any, you know, or very few kind of like mega film stars that last decades like there was in the good old days. I've always been of the opinion that the word celebrity ought to be kind of I don't know, voted on almost somehow. It ought to be limited to 100 celebrities worldwide or something, and unless one dies or does something dreadful and gets knocked off the list, then you know, then a new one can take their place, kind of thing. But all these days, you know, everybody's a celebrity because they're on TikTok or something, and you have these so-called celebrity programs. I haven't got a clue any of them are, the people on them. It's so kind of vague, isn't it? And that, of course, you know, you're not going to spend 5 or 10 grand on a waxwork of somebody who might be famous this week, and by the time the waxwork's finished, they're no longer famous anymore. So yeah, I think that's part of it. And also there's this thing of the because of the internet and social media and da 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 da, the so-called celebrities are almost easier to get hold of in a way, interact with, whatever you want to call it. There's no kind of mystique anymore as there used to be in the good old days. So you'd never come across a celebrity in real life. So maybe a waxwork was kind of the nearest thing you could get to seeing them, as it were. But now you can follow them on Twitter and Facebook and everything else. Maybe that kind of mystique, that distance is no longer there. And perhaps that's another reason it doesn't appeal. So, yeah, I don't know. Peter says they also made one high and dry comedy about buying and running a pier. High and dry. There's the one, not the one on Hunstanton Pier, with the Allwinds and things at the end on the outside. Can't remember what that one's called. House of Wax is a remake of a very old film. Yes, was it Vincent Price? I think the original. But I did that kind of remake one. I did quite like. It was very good effects, I thought. Seems that the Chamber Horrors in Regent Street, Yarmouth, was quite good. Regent Road, rather. It was, yeah, it wasn't bad. It was fair size as well. There was quite a lot of stuff in it. Unfortunately, no longer there. Ah, no, that was a film. High and Dry was a series. High and Dry. I don't know if I ever saw that one. There was one with, was it Larry Lamin, I think? The guy who bought the pier? Something. Was that the one, maybe? I think it's on the, it's one of the South Coast piers they filmed it on. Worthing, I think it might have been. From memory. Can't remember. I have to look it up. Should know all these things, but I don't. Good for factoids, you see. We'll have to have a film factoid page somewhere. All the films and programmes that have had piers and arcades and waxworks and fairgrounds and amusement parks and things in. There's quite a lot, you know, every now and again you'll see something in something, and of course when they're that bit older, that's one of the things you will try and pause it and see exactly what you can see in the background. What's in the arcade, what rides were in the parks, and all that kind of thing. So yeah, they're good when you come across them. And every now and then just spot odd machines and things. There's some of the Steptoe and Sons, there's an Allwyn hanging on the wall on the staircase. And in Carry On, one of the Carry Ons, Doctor Nurse, is it? There's what's the one where can't remember which one it is. Sid James's house when he's after the slimming potion. Which one's that? Is that Carry On Doctor, I think, isn't it? Allwyn's in there as well, and yeah. High and Dry was on Talking Pictures a few weeks ago. High and Dry starred Bernard Cribbins. Well, sounds good already. I'll have to look it up. I've never seen it. I really have time to watch telly. I make more telly than I watch. Peter says, sadly, all the wax and the arcade from Regent Road went to a European castle. Yes. A set of racers came from there. Yeah. I don't know how that castle place is getting on. Big hotel castle place, isn't it? I sold them in some of the last auctions we had at the Elephant House. They bought quite a few big machines. All went over there to, was it Romania, I think? I think it was Romania. Looked like an incredible place. And yeah, it was interesting because they didn't speak any English. The carriers never spoke English. There was a lot of pointing and shoving and grunting to get the things loaded up and on. But you know, hey, they paid. They come and got. What more can you say? It's just all a bit bizarre at the time. There's an Orwell in the Cafe in Monty Python's Spam sketch. Yes, there is, isn't there? Spam, spam, egg and spam, etc. Let's start with David Essex film. Starts off in an arcade on a fairground. Good scene of an arcade in Tommy. But it says Chechnya. Oh, right, okay. Stardust film. Yeah, there's lots in there. I'll have to do a page somewhere of all these little things. We can list them all out. See what we can spot in what. That'll be the day, Gary says. Yeah, that'll be the day. Also, not so long ago, I sometimes have a YouTube thing on in the background or something when I'm sat here programming. One of the Mr. Bean's in the fairground at Seaside. There's quite loads of shots of the fairground. That's quite good. And then what was the other thing I saw not so long ago that had quite a bit of Blackpool Pleasure Beach in the early 80s, I think it was. Oh, I can't remember what it was now. That's annoying. That'll be the day. Oh, so has Ringo Starr in it? Hmm. There you go. What else can we think of that's got fairgroundy things in? There's a few, isn't there? There's Brighton Rock, which has got some nice machines in Brighton Rock. I think it was filmed in Brighton, unusually, but back in the 60s, the Richard Attenborough. If you look at the arcade in that, there's some nice shots of Barnes machines and stuff in. And I think the shooting gallery, if I remember right, as well on Brighton Pier, which was kind of underneath the pier, on the West Pier, not the Palace Pier. And of course, the West Pier is in Carry On Girls. That was shot just after, I think it was a few months after the West Pier finally closed to the public, and they shot Carry On Girls. A lot of it in there, in the theatre. And whizzing up and down the pier in go-karts and things. But the West Pier had closed by then. Yeah, and what was the other carry-on? A lot in Brighton. Carry On, the toilet one. Carry On at Your Convenience. A lot of that as well. Got a lot of good Brighton shots in it. Pete says it was called Hope It Rains. Hope it rains. Don't know. Hope it rains. Let's have a look. Hope it rains. Hope it rains. 1991 to 2 TV series. Was that be the one? Hang on a minute. Ooh. Well, can I get that up to come up to here? Hang on a minute. Let me just do that. Do that. Hang on. Paste that in there. That worked. Bump. There we go. Hope It Rains. Comedy, 1991-92. When her mother dies, independent but unemployed, Jace goes to live with her cantankerous godfather, who runs a dilapidated wax museum in a seedy English seaside resort. Sounds fantastic. 2 seasons. Tom Bell, Holyhead, Eamon Bolland. Eamon Bolland. Good name. Okay. Interesting. No photos, that's a shame. 7.9 out of 10 rating. It was obviously quite good. Nope, never heard of it. There you go, one to watch. Hope it rains. To look out for that. See if we can find it on video or DVD or something. It's supposed to be on DVD. Might be able to find it on video, maybe. Oh, Peter sent me the trailer for it. Oh, okay. Is that when my phone dinged? Okay, the trailer's on YouTube. Type into YouTube, Hope It Rains trailer. Marvellous, I'll have a look at that in a bit. See if we can find it. Sounds really good. Yeah. I was thinking of, what's that? It's All at Sea, isn't it? The film with Hunstanton Pier on. All at Sea. All at Sea. I think it's called something else as well. Barnacle Bill, yeah, it was also called. Some photos here. Look, is there any of the pier? There's a hole in the pier there. Oh no, it's not, it's a window, isn't it? There we are, look. Look at that. Cracking picture, actually. So this is on the pier. You can see always in the background there, look, lovely cast iron stand right in the left of the shot with the mutoscope in. Very rare, those stands. I got one. The mutoscope door's open, interestingly. Shouldn't be on that stand, but that's a good photograph, I like that. Good film. All at Sea, otherwise known as Barnacle Bill. Ealing comedy. There we are, I do recommend that one. There we are. Good stuff. I'm distracted. Pete says, look, but can't find DVD or video. That's a shame. There's trouble. A lot of those TV series, unless they came out at the time on DVD, they just put them out once and that was it. Then I don't know why they don't repeat some of them. So much good stuff. The crap they make now, you wonder why they bother. Dad's Army on the end of the pier playing a crane to win a bar of chocolate. Ah, yes. That was a good one, wasn't it? It was it Brian's crane? If I remember rightly. Was it the curvy metal one? The all square. Didn't think it might have been. That was a studio. There wasn't not a real pier, unfortunately. It can't be a bit of Dad's Army, can you really? All filmed up in Norfolk, of course, or all location stuff was anyway. Yeah, there we go. What was the other thing I was going to look up? What was the other one somebody mentioned? High and Dry. Is that the one we just found? Hang on a minute, I'm getting confused myself. High and Dry. High and Dry. High and Dry. High and Dry. Which High and Dry is it again? This one, I imagine. Bernard Cribbins, Richard Wilson as well, excellent. Vivian Martin, Michael Elphick. Donald Hewlett, Frank Williams, great cast. A shady character buys a decrepit seaside pier with a view to refurbishing it. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? Haven't we all gone and done that in times? Yes. Could almost be a documentary about me, couldn't it? What can one say? Photographs, let's have a look. Midbourne Pier. Okay. Don't remember seeing that either. When was it? 85, 87? Browse episodes. See, 8 episodes apparently. Okay. Okay, what does it tell us about? Is there anything interesting? Storyline. Trivia. The scripts for this series are adapted from It Sticks Out Half a Mile, a radio spin-off from Dad's Army. Okay. There you go. Anything else we need to know about it? Not a lot. Doesn't tell us much. Another good one to look out for then. If anybody can find it, let us know. Marvellous. There we go. Right. Anything else I need to tell you? Anybody got any comments, questions? Anybody need to know anything? Anybody got any bright ideas? Fire away. As I say, in the meantime, go and have a look on the Colcom website. I will say when I finish this, I've got to fiddle around, clear out a bit of the few test things that I've been doing with the factoid thing and the raffle ticket doodles and whatnot, and get that up and working. Well, it is working, but make it so the buttons show so you can submit your factoids away, and then on next Sunday we'll have the first draw. So if you're the only person who submits a factoid this week, you will definitely win. There you go. There's some incentive for you. And we'll see how many we get over the year. So it's a bit of a, to put in the email, it's a bit of a challenge. I can either pay somebody, you know, a couple of grand to sit there for a month, trawling through books, internet, magazines, old copies of World's Fair, whatever, extracting information and typing it all in. Or we can have a bit of fun and spend the money giving you lot a bit of a few prizes here and there and a bit of fun, and we all learn something. So I thought that would be a good plan. See if it works. If not, then back to plan A, but worth a go, isn't it? Right, can we put short video clips in the factoids? You will be able to soon, is the short answer to that one. You could just paste a link in for now. Yeah, obviously copyright things is the thing, but if it's like if it's on YouTube or something, a link to a YouTube film of a certain machine or something, then yes is the short answer to that one. And again, photographs, I've got to, that is coming for photographs. I just haven't programmed it yet because it's quite complicated to get photo uploaders to work properly and end up in the right place and blah, blah, blah. There's security issues to think of because if you're uploading photographs to a website, you're uploading a file, so you have to do a whole load of security check stuff in the background. You're not opening the you know, method for websites to be attacked. Not that I think anybody particularly wants to attack my website, but that's not somebody targeted. It's the automated robot things that scour the internet looking for ways to find websites to take over to users, spam bots, basically. So that's a bit more complicated, but it's coming. Yes, definitely coming. For pictures and also like the archive thing, if you've got old and again they're old photographs, old instruction manuals or leaflets, flyers, all that sort of thing, that will be coming as well in the next week or two. So yes, gather it all together. It will be coming very soon. Big K says, what happened to all the good Allwins coming to the market? Are people sitting on them as there used to be lots in general at even the Elephant House auctions? Yes, it's a very good question. I don't know where all the Allwins have gone, to be honest. I know there's, I've got one to pick up next weekend. Somebody's meeting me at the Elephant House with an Allwin. There's another collector, I know he's got a couple for sale because he bought something last month and he's making space. So I think he's bringing 2 Allwins up. Hopefully in the week or so. But where they've all gone, I don't know. It just seemed to be a definite lack of Allwins. Everyone seems to be hanging on to them. So God knows where they all are. Peter saying, just thinking of clips of my own machines. Yes, absolutely, if it's your own machines. I was going to say that's something I need to think of, because if other people are putting links to third parties' video clips and getting the credit for it, you need to think about that. But if it's your own stuff, of course, yes, absolutely. Yeah. So if they're already on YouTube or Vimeo or something, if they're already hosted somewhere, then when you add a factoid, just copy paste the link and just stick a note in it explaining what it is. And I'll sort it out from there when I edit it and upload it. If an actual video file, then I'd need to think what to do with that. Like if you're taking a video on your phone, could do that in due course. You'd have to email me the file and then I could edit it and upload it. But yes, good thinking, a good question, and yes, very soon is the answer. Similarly, a lot of things like machine-wise, as I say, when I get around to video, when I get around to photo editing, let's just go back to the right page. Oh, I don't know what I've done with the right page now. Hang on. We're busy looking at films and things, weren't we? High and Dry, Barnacle Bills. Let's go back a few pages. Ah, here we go. Yeah, so for answer, pick a machine, I don't know, octopus, there you go. So I've only got one picture of octopus. It was one we probably sold at some point. In fact, I don't think it is one we sold. Don't know where I got this picture from. Somewhere or other. If there's, you know, especially if there's a machine we haven't got any picture of at all, and you happen to have got one, then great, take some photographs of it. Or if it's like this, where we've just got a picture of the outside, then a picture of the mechanism would be useful. Obviously, some we've got loads of pictures of, but a lot of times we've only got the pictures that we took in auction. The further back they were, the less pictures you tend to have of them. And like a lot of things we've just got flyers of. But so it's all about trying to fill all these gaps up. So there will be space. Well, the space is already there. I haven't put the buttons yet, but factoids for individual things as well, i.e. individual machines in particular to start with, then other things as well. So at the moment it's just on the manufacturer pages. I want to get one thing working, just iron out, make sure there's no problems. Because there's always something, it doesn't matter how you build something, design it, test it. When it goes out into the real world, there'll be a glitch somewhere, won't quite work, or layout will go funny or something. So once we've got it sorted for one section, then it's easy to copy it across to the other sections. But then we can add, you know, for individual machines, there might be something interesting about this particular machine. You might know that they only made so many, or they only made it for 1 year, or whatever. Yeah, there you go. Gary said, would you want useful tips in the factoids? Are you apart from a certain machine also fit another machine? Yes, that would go in there. Say once I've done the factoid bit for individual machines, because yes, that's very useful, that sort of stuff for people to know. And I'm also thinking again about, because again, somebody asked me only about a week or two ago about something I said a long time ago, because we've often asked about doing forums, which I've always kind of shied away from because other people do forums, but maybe like question and answer type things, which would be useful for, again, machines in particular, since it's what most of us here are into. So if you've got a problem with your big top shooting gallery machine, you post a question, you know, I can't get the gun to fire the balls far enough. Can anybody help? Question mark. And then someone could reply to that and say, oh yes, what you need to do is put a bigger spring in the gun, or whatever the case may be. But by keeping questions and answers to particular things on particular pages, they're easy for people to find in the future. They don't just get buried in some great big long forum where you can never find them again. And similarly, we were talking to Peter's, people who make things for things. Where you can get parts for stuff, get things fixed, or all that sort of information. So there'll be ways to add all this information, keep developing, keep moving things forward. These pages I'll probably redesign soon, because they were designed, you know, a couple of years ago now. As more information comes in, the layout needs changing a bit. So yeah, it's all happening. But hopefully by getting collectors to start submitting information, now the framework of the website is built, the information will fill up a lot quicker than me sitting here doing it all. And then I can be busy programming new features like factoids on here and question and answer things and so on and so forth. Price graphing we wanted to do was another thing that's been mentioned a couple of times. So things where we sold a lot of stuff of the same thing. Let's go back to our old favourite on the Bryans. For instance, Bryans clocks was 55 prices there, Bryans clocks. So once you've got a lot of data, you can chart out how the price changes over the years, and that can be index linked. A bit of complicated maths to do, but the information's there, you can get it. Because obviously they used to be £5 back in 1970, now they're £500, but what was £5 really in 1970 is against what £500 is now. So chart out real price values, and once that's done, then in your virtual collection button, if you start collecting things in there, that could be a you know, it could show an average value in there, which is then easy if you're doing things like an insurance valuation. You know, you could print the page off and show to your insurance company, well look, this is an independent valuation, this is what stuff is really worth based on market values, because rare stuff is so difficult to get an insurance valuation on. As you know, if you've got anything like a classic car or something, trying to argue how much it's worth, you usually go to a like a car club or something. They'll do an approved insurance valuation for your, whatever it is you've got, MG or something. You go to the MG Owners Club, and they'll give you an approved kind of valuation that your insurance company will hopefully accept, that if your car gets damaged or nicked, that yes, it really was worth 10 grand, not the £500 they try and fob you off with. So all that, as all this information builds, there's all sorts of different ways we can use it, and just keep on making the website more and more useful for everyone, hopefully. Paul says, do you want me to start a list of machines I've made? Definitely, because I've only got about 3 down for you, I think. What have I got you on there? Mitchell's, here we are. 2, look, I've only got 2 down. So yes, initially send me a list, and then I can make the pages, and you can fill the gaps in yourself. Or stick them on as here, whichever. And then I'll add them in as extra machines. And in particular, we need to know, copper mine, how many of those you made, etc. So that will go in when I do this, when I put a factoid button here, which will be not in the too distant future. I'll give it a week or 2, see how the manufacturing thing goes, and just make sure it works for everyone. And then I'll put a button here as well. And we'll start filling these bits in. And then you'll see, always was always intended, this public display thing, for it to be another thing. So, you know, any machine, for instance, well, there's one here at, there's one at Yarmouth, isn't there? There's one at Roberts Arcade. So in here then we'd put locations where you can go and find one to play. Or if there's one in a museum or something. So that's what that bit's for. So we'll do. Excellent. So yeah, lots and lots of things planned. I'm trying to get as much as I can before I get really madly busy this summer. So if I can get these bits programmed, then hopefully encourage, by bribing you all with some good prizes for the end of the year, encourage you all to start contributing information. It's relatively easy for me to then to manage information than it is to sit there and write it all. If I'm away working on the telly job across summer, I can just log in each evening and approve things, just check spelling mistakes and things in factoids, etc. And just keep uploading them, and the thing will just build and build and build, hopefully. That's the plan. There we are. You see, machines, there's 7,000 odd pages of information need filling up, for instance. Yeah, that'll keep you busy for a while, won't it? Don't know how many manufacturers we've got. I don't have a count of manufacturers. But there's a lot of them. Just go on any of the buttons, look. All of those. That's just letter A. So yeah, knock yourselves out. As I say, the buttons will appear later on tonight. This button won't show yet on your screens because I've just got to clear the database out of the test data and then make the button visible, and then you can knock yourselves out. I think that's probably it, isn't it? Any more questions? Anybody got anything? Paul says, good show tonight. Thank you very much. I'll do my best. Yeah. Hopefully you'll all get the idea. As I say, there's in the help pages. There's a little one there, and there'll be a bit more detail, obviously, in there as I think of it and as questions come in, really. And then once we've got the prizes for the end of the year sorted out, they'll be on there as well. So I'm looking for a nice wall machine, probably a nice all-win, nice bit of fairground art, and then probably a couple of other bits. And then so there'll be prize draws from the raffle tickets, and then there'll be a few other prizes for the people who've done the most, which will be literally on numbers. If you've done 100, and everybody else only done 50, you'll win, obviously. So that's so potentially you could win the top prize by just putting one factoid in. But to be fair to those who put the most effort in, there'll be kind of a separate little set of prizes for the year for those who put the most in, for those who've made the most effort, because that only seems right and proper. Smashing, right. I'm getting a hoarse throat, so I've chatted for an hour and I need another cup of tea. So I'll bid you all a good evening. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I hope that all makes sense. You know where I am if you've got any questions. This coming week, I'm around at the warehouse or in and out pretty much all week. But I'm not there all day, every day. So if you want to pop over to God Manchester any time in the week, get in touch. The weekend I'm not around because we've got family stuff on and trip out to Aston Martin, which will be fun. Then the following weekend, the 2nd and 3rd, unless there's some major catastrophe with the van at the end of this week when it's hopefully finished, I'll be over Leamington and around and about. So I've got to go up as far as Manchester and down as far as Gloucester, collecting a couple of big things. So if you've got anything big that needs going in the van collecting, let me know and we'll try and work it in on that trip. Smashing. Otherwise, thank you all very much. Catch you all Tuesday night, and get your thinking caps on of what you know, and get those factoids in, start winning some stuff. Marvellous. That's it. Over and out. Nighty night.